there, my name's James Birchall. This is a special edition of the Smart Car Coffee Confidential. This is another Morning with the Mayor, and here she comes. So I think the big issue really that we need to discuss today is what's with the haircut. Sorry.
Well, I think it takes 10 years off my life, don't you?
Absolutely. I'm never going to disagree with that.
Easier to care for.
Well, yeah, I can definitely see that. That's why I keep my hair short.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had longer hair than you.
Really?
Yeah, there was a point.
I can't even picture that.
I know. Well, it would have been brown and not grey like it is now. But yeah, when I was an art student, I had really long hair. It was all the way down to here. I mean, I still have the earring.
I have 3 piercings on my ear, and 2 of those were done at camp with a potato and a safety pin.
Yes, you go straight through. So what's new with you, other than the hair?
Well, we have a lot to discuss with the downtown.
Yes, we do.
So
I've noticed quite a bit of stuff going online.
We're coming to the final few months before we make a decision about how it's going to look for the future.
Oh.
And there are 2 concepts out there right now, both of which I believe miss the mark, both of which are overdevelopment. And when you actually look at the numbers from the analysis, they're more than double. They're actually about 3 times the growth that we need to satisfy our provincial obligations for density. So it's a bit of a mystery. We need about 2,700 more people downtown by 2031 to hit the 200 people in jobs per hectare.
That's it. That's what we need.
Yeah, and it can be people or jobs. We have a pretty healthy mix of people and jobs downtown right now. It's about 60 residential, 40 jobs. But the concepts deliver 5,800 more people over, so it's thousands more people, and of course for every 100 persons that's another high rise. So it's 13, 14 more high rises than what we need downtown. So, and then you look at the concepts and that's exactly what they look like. So, the community was very clear in the last election that they don't want to see a forest of high rises downtown. There are some that have been already approved or foisted on us by the Ontario Municipal Board. Can't do anything about those, but we don't have to make it worse by simply throwing up another high-rise everywhere one already exists. So
it's a pretty skyline. I mean, it's a shame. It's going to start looking like a little miniature Toronto if we're not careful. And I mean, I can only speak for myself, but part of the reason I love Burlington is it has that sort of city, village feel without looking like a major metropolitan city. I mean, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Well, and that when you look at the public input, so they did a bunch of meetings, one-on-ones, a survey, a whole bunch of touch points, plus what I heard and many other of the current council members heard during the last election, going door to door. Yeah. This is unprompted. It's, "Hi, I'm Marianne, I'm running for mayor," and people would just go off about the downtown, saying what the previous council was doing was not their vision, not what they wanted to see downtown, and that was the message, exactly what you just said, that people want to preserve more of a small town character, and certainly there's a lot of heritage resources in the downtown that are at risk. Yes, you can incorporate them into a larger development, and there is one on Pine that was approved a couple of years ago where they incorporate the heritage building, and there's a 6-story in behind. So you don't need to go crazy with height even to accommodate and incorporate heritage. But our role as council is not to look after the shareholders of the development industry. Our role is to look after our citizens and to plan a great community and have a vision for that community that reflects and respects what citizens have told us. And they don't want to see a lot of height and density in the downtown core, and that's roughly from Caroline south, although I would say personally it's closer to Ghent south. It really changes up at the Ghent area on those 4 corners. The road widens too, which helps, but it's a different character and feel up there. But really from the 2 schools, the Burlington Central Public and High, and then you've got the Catholic school on the other side, St. John's. and the church. From there down is really sort of what I consider the historic sort of core of the downtown.
Well, we'll probably lose our #1 ranking if we turn ourselves into a metropolitan footprint or city kind of mini copy. I mean, I know there's lots of reasons why we've got it, but I think one of them is because it's pretty.
It's very pretty. People want to live here.
Yeah.
And we can accommodate. There was, I mean, since you did raise market viability, there was a section in the consultant's report that is online and available for folks. And it said, 4 to 8 story is perfectly viable.
So again, the big question is,
Starbucks.
what are we going to drink?
I gotta see what the Christmas in a glass offerings are today.
Yes. I wonder if they're going to start doing an eggnog flavored coffee. Oh, that would be kind of nasty, actually.
I bought some eggnog brandy. I don't even know what it is at that liquor store.
Oh, there we
Just
go.
looked interesting. We're all out. Whatever that is.
Oh, that was the crisp. No, that's the one with the cream all over the top. So, holiday treats. Actually, here we go. Maybe this one's got an updated favorites. Oh, look, there's a green one. Oh, that's tea. There you go.
Handcrafted tea.
What is
but
there to
oh my
feed today?
Goodness.
Good morning. So you've got peppermint,
Oh my.
caramel, and chestnut
The
praline.
peppermint mocha, but no whipped cream on the top.
Okay, I'd like medium, small, large.
Medium is
A
plenty.
medium peppermint mocha, please, with no whipped cream on the top.
Of course.
And I'd like a medium cappuccino with some, I guess, some sugar.
I hope that was not cold. That's not a cold drink. I just ordered.
I don't think so. Well, that'd be bad if it was. No.
We'll find out.
Yeah. No, can't be. Peppermint? Ooh, I don't know. I'll
I
find
said it was a mocha latte or I don't know what.
Yeah, well, when they hand it to me, we'll know, because it'll be like, oh, cold or hot? Yeah.
We'll find out.
So you're working a regular day today? Regular by mayor standards?
Actually, I have only a 10-hour day today, so
Have a great day.
Thank you. It's warm.
it's warm. Yay! Cheers!
Cheers.
Happy Christmas!
Oh, well,
everyone.
yes.
Is this? Hang on. Which did you get?
This is the cappuccino.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see the word cappuccino on the side.
We wish you a merry coffee.
Oh, that's sweet. Anyway.
Well, we have much bigger things to worry about, like 24 billion liters of sewage draining into Coots Paradise over 4 years. And Hamilton Council knew since January, staff knew since July of last year. Staff at Hamilton knew since July of last year. And I found out by reading the newspaper.
Someone's going to be in poop, literally
Well,
and figuratively.
Yes. It is.
Oh, that's not good.
It is very, very disturbing. And
So
I will be
ongoing.
following up with my counterpart, Mr. Mayor of Hamilton, to talk about what this means, what the remediation efforts are going to be, and also impress upon him and council that Coots Paradise and essentially our waterways are not just owned by Hamilton. You've got the Royal Botanical Gardens as the steward of it. You've got Conservation Halton. It's the end of our watershed for Conservation Halton. I sit on that board. And of course, part of Burlington faces that bay. So, you have all these other partners that have been affected and should have been notified that this was happening. And we know from experience when there's major toxic spills into our waterways, eventually
It gets to us.
and eventually the area municipalities are asked to help pay for the remediation. So we did with Randall Reef.
Yeah.
We paid $200,000 over 10 years, so $2 million contribution to clean that up. And at the time, I was one of the people that voted in favor of that. People said, why are we cleaning up Hamilton's Bay? And I said, our water affects us all, and it was
shared.
It's a shared asset, so we'll do our part. But, and I wouldn't be surprised if at some point, Burlington will be asked to help with the remediation, and we'll always be there to assist. But by the same token, we need to be partners in being notified when there's a problem, and you know, there's going to have to be a lot of changes coming out of this because, you know, even things like why wasn't the monitoring of the E. coli levels and the bacterial levels, the algal blooms, like there were telltale signs that something was going wrong. And, you know, it was interesting. I was reading in the paper, and a fellow from Royal Botanical Gardens says, well, that explains all our readings. You know?
And yet,
they didn't know why it was so...
And no one kind of waved the flag and said, our readings are off. This would suggest an external influence. I've asked our staff to give us a briefing on everything that is known and knowable. Certainly we'll be asking for reports to be made public that Hamilton has about it. And, you know, and then we go from there in terms of what steps need to be taken. And particularly in this case of Sewergate, as they're calling it. The Sewergate.
Well, there were some public orders from the ministry, but who would have known that those were there?
No, true.
So, you know, unless you knew they were there and were looking, or spend time hanging around on, you know, a ministry website, if there even is such a thing that lists these documents, you would never have known. And so
it happens. I
mean,
it really does.
It's no laughing matter in this case. I mean, there will be many a metaphor, but you know, it really is nothing to laugh about. So,
well, it's toxic.
It is toxic, and people were paddling. In fact, the RBG was so concerned about the readings that they took out a launch dock for boats. They didn't want people going anywhere near that water.
No,
and so that's what they did. They did proactively, just based on, you know, they didn't know exactly fully what they were looking at, but they knew it was a problem. So, you know, kudos to them. But, you know, when it gets to that point, it's so bad we're taking out a boat launch. You can't even sit in a boat on this water. And
well, no, because you might get splashed. And I mean, sewage is nasty stuff.
It is. Well, and if you have an open cut, flesh-eating disease, toxic shock syndrome, it is
extraordinarily bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I make light of an awful lot of things, so that's my coping mechanism. But no, in this case, this is very...
All humor comes from sadness.
I know. That's why I'm really, really funny. I'm very sad.
Tears of a clown.
Deep down. Yes. No, there's probably a bit more truth in there than I'd care to admit.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Deep
look.
Confessions with James Birchall.
No, I'll be cutting this one out. But I'm just looking at the time.
Are we done? Are we go? Wow.
So is there anything you'd like to say to people as we sign out?
Well, I hope people have a wonderful, restful Christmas, holiday, whatever it is you celebrate. Take a break. Stay with your loved ones. I will be taking some time off, and City Hall is closed for a week over Christmas. I'm always reachable online, though, so and I do respond on, you know, at odd hours. So
yes, indeed. Well, this has been Mayor Marianne Meed-Ward for another Morning with the Mayor. My name's James Birchall, and until next time, I guess
keep it not frosty.
Keep it not frosty.
Keep it toasty.
Keep it toasty.